Ready. Set.
Gamecast.
Welcome to Ready Set Gamecast, a bi-weekly podcast about video games. And that's it. I'm Bryce, and I'm joined by the gamer, Darian.
Hi, I'm a gamer.
And also the other gamer, Matt.
I'm the other gamer.
Should make a cool TV show called The Other Gamer. It features two gamers, and you'll never know which one's the other.
Ooh.
It's like good cop, bad cop.
Wow.
It's like in My Brother and Me. It's like, which one's the end me?
So at 4th level, we're going to get
I guess
ability
it
score
depends
improvements.
So if I have a feeling Darian's gonna be muttering to herself throughout this, because she is building her D&D character for the popular Dungeons and Dragons series, Dungeons and Gamers, where her character will be appearing on a cool live stream August 23rd at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time at twitch.tv/lastgeekplays, where we will be playing Dungeons and Dragons to benefit the charity Extra Life. So,
To be clear, I'm not just building, I'm reworking my character.
because
She hasn't even come out yet, and she's already getting reworked. That's how bad I did.
because she gave herself like 6 more numbers than the rest of us.
Because I rolled instead of use the buy point system, and I did well. Luck was on my side.
Luck was a lady
Tymora's
tonight.
blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned from D&D so
What's
far.
what's the name of the fortune goddess?
Tymora.
Oh yeah, I totally
Duh.
worship her.
Jeez, this D&D noob over here.
I know
In
all the
real
D&D
life.
lore. Not like Katie brought up Tymora like 5 times.
Just saying, I just proved how much I know about D&D. I don't need to say any more.
Yeah.
There's no more discussion here. Let's move on before we put it too under a microscope.
Well, Dungeons and Dragons is gaming, so I'm going to count that as fulfilling our intro sequence.
We did it.
But we also play other games, and I'm going to start with Matt this time.
Games of the video variety. Yes. I didn't play many, so I don't know if I count as a gamer this week. Tough week for the only gamer.
Each episode we decide if you get to continue being a gamer or not. Let's see how Matt does.
Well, I played a little game called Trackmania, which I started to play a little bit last time. There were a couple other things I wanted to play. I think I played a couple games of Tetris, but most of my time was spent with Trackmania. I still haven't bought the game. It's free to play if you want. You can play by yourself and basically do, personal best time trial runs against yourself. And so that's what I've been doing, going through the seasonal tracks. So I think there's like 25 summer tracks. And Trackmania is neat because it gives you kind of hyper-localized ranks. So I'm in Massachusetts, so I can see how I rank.
in your room.
Yeah, right. It's like, oh, you have the fastest time in your room, except for your ghost. Your ghost is always better than you because you suck now, apparently.
You're getting worse the more you play.
Yeah. But it gets like hyper-localized where in the US, at least, you select region and you select your state. So I know how I do on each track based on the number of people that have played in Massachusetts. So my goal for the summer season is trying to get into the top 100 on each of those tracks in Massachusetts. So I've been just like, repeating tracks over and over again. But then it'll expand to like US, then North America, then global. So it's kind of cool like how, hyper-focused you can get. I'm like, top 100 in the state, that's cool. That's like if I showed up to some sort of battle royale of Trackmania tournament in Massachusetts,
I would have been eliminated immediately.
Yeah, but I would at least get invited.
I'm pretty sure I could start playing now and be in the top 100 in South Dakota because there's not that many people here.
And then other than that, I bought Ooblets, so I can't wait to start playing Ooblets. I just haven't sat down to play Ooblets yet. But darn, that game looks cool. And also Fall Guys, that looks cool, and that'll be out by the next time we record, so I'm probably going to play that.
Will it? Because I know they've been doing the private beta. Like, it seems like a...
Comes out on the 4th,
okay,
of August.
It's like a beta if you know the right streamers or...
Well, yeah, so they're doing like loot, or I guess they've given keys to some streamers, but they're also doing, the Fall Guys Twitter has been just like handing out keys left and right. And for a long time, they've had beta access. If you went to like their Discord and joined their Discord and followed them on Twitter, you could like get one every once in a while.
Well, so it kind of seemed like the like streamers and stuff that had been given access to it had also been given like 50 codes.
Yeah, it seemed like they had a lot.
Yeah, like everyone who seemed to, have codes seemed to have a lot of codes. Like there was a Twitch stream that I saw that was just like every 10 seconds putting up a new code. And I tried to get some for a bit, but then after like the 5th time, I was like, this isn't how I'm going to spend my day, and moved on. I was like, I will play it when it's out.
It's going to be out in, like 2 weeks, and it's only $20, I think. I was surprised because I thought it was going to be 30. I thought it was cheap. It was cheaper than I thought it was going to be. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm probably going to get it on PC. It's on PC and PS4.
Okay.
There was a rumor that it was going to be the PS Plus game for August, but I don't think that's substantiated at all. But that'd be cool. That'd be like Rocket League. They did that.
Which we'll be talking about later. But what exactly is Trackmania? Is it just like a standard ass racing game? Like I just hear people like, yeah, Trackmania. It's got lots of tracks. It's Trackmania.
Yeah, so it's got a track builder where you can make your own with pieces, but it's mainly simple driving, right? There's basically turn left, turn right, drive, and brake.
The way I've always pictured it is Rocket League, but with racing with Rocket League cars.
It's not as floaty, but it is as arcadey, I guess, would be the way I'd describe that. It's super quick to restart, right? So you're basically just always trying to take every turn as fast as you can and not hit anything. And then if you do hit something, you're just going to immediately hit restart and try again. And so like I'll spend an hour on one track and just sit there and like, oh man, my turn was slightly worse this time, and then I hit a wall. Okay, restart. Oh, my ghost car took it better. I can do better than that. I'm going to try to improve my score. And it's literally just time trials. In the online mode, which I haven't done because I haven't purchased it. I think that's locked behind the $10 tier. You can go and play in lobbies of a bunch of people, but they're just ghost cars. There's no collision or anything like that, but it's just like you have 3 minutes on a track and you get a leaderboard within, that lobby. But I don't know. That's what it is. It's like toy cars, right? It's kind of got that Rocket League thing to it where like, the car itself looks like a Hot Wheels car or something like that. And you're going like 500, units per second or whatever. So it's just like goofy fun. There's like speed boost, low gravity or slow down, that kind of thing. Loop-de-loops, like ramps that, kind of arc and you're riding on top of them. Jumps.
Interesting. So it's fun?
I think it's fun. My girlfriend does not think it's fun.
He's like, define fun. Like fun, it could be a lot of things.
I have a good time. I've seen people rage at it a lot, and I don't get too like I get upset every once in a while. I'm like, oh, I could have done better. Like, oh, I'm mad at myself for a second, but then I just restart, and it's like I don't rage at it, so I'm not like. So I guess that's good. But I'm not like. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I want to go play it, but I'm not always like, I need to play Trackmania right now. That's the most fun experience I'm having. So, yes, it's fun for free. How about that? Except for you got to go through the BS of getting on Uplay and playing a game on Uplay.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems like Ubisoft has been moving most of the games to Steam, so hopefully I will be able to get rid of that.
It's on Epic Game Store, Trackmania, but for some reason, the way mine's linked, it doesn't launch through Epic, so I have to go through Uplay to play it.
Weird.
Yeah.
Darian.
That's it. That's the only video game I've played.
You been a gamer?
I've been a gamer. Mostly, I've been playing League of Legends. I have made progress in Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm not done with it yet, but I think I'm almost to endgame territory, just based on...
How many hours?
At least 20 at this point. Probably more than that. I don't remember. It's been a few days since I played. We're probably closer to 25. But I'm not quite to endgame territory yet. I'm just like in the last slew of side missions, I believe, because it gave me a pop-up that was like, hey, do all these side missions right now, or else when you proceed, they're going to be gone forever. And I was like, noted.
Yeah, like, thank you for telling me, but why?
Right, like, okay, we're getting somewhere. And someone in my chat in the playthrough before that, he was like, oh, don't buy this for this character. Like, don't worry about anything for this character anymore. And I was like, is that a spoiler? And he's like, no, don't time me out.
I'm out.
And I was like, it's fine. You've been helping me a lot, but don't spoil. All right. And like, don't do that. But yeah, so I think by the next time we podcast, I will have finished the game. Maybe. We'll see. Depends. Because I've been working 6-day weeks, so I don't have much time for gaming right now. But it's fine. So yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake, decent amount of progress. But also League of Legends. And currently, it is the 26th. When this comes out, it'll be the 28th? 29th, right? Comes out on Wednesday?
Yeah, it comes out Wednesday. Can't tell you when time works.
Yep. So currently we are in the middle of the Spirit Blossom event. Basically, it's this big month-long event started on July 22nd, going until August 24th. You can earn Spirit Blossom tokens to unlock exclusive in-game content. And it's basically like they've turned League of Legends into a dating sim. You just play the game normally, but by doing specific actions in specific games and game modes and stuff, you can earn extra favor towards like the 10 selected champions for the event. Only 9 of them are accessible right now. And one of them is the most recent champion. Her name is Lilia. She's a dream fawn. She's so cute. She has a Scottish accent. And then I'm not sure when he's coming out, but Yone, one of the other character, Yasuo, his brother Yone has been teased for a while, and now he's been revealed as of, I think, the 22nd. I think. The day the event started. No, it was the 24th. He was revealed on the 24th. He's coming out before the event's over. And so basically, play the game, get tokens by talking to the champions. And it's super fun and cute and really exciting. Also, the game mode Nexus Blitz is out, which if you're looking for casual, funny, silly game mode, Nexus Blitz is great. There's like protect the Soraka and kill the Vhagar for loot, and just all sorts of funny little like things that they throw in to mess up and randomize the game, and it's great. So that's what I'll be doing almost exclusively on my channel, except for when I'm playing Final Fantasy VII. It's playing League, especially Nexus Blitz, because it's just so fun.
Matt, do you still play the other League?
Legends of Runeterra?
Runeterra?
No, the mode inside of League.
TFT?
TFT, Teamfight Tactics.
I haven't checked back in after whenever the last time I checked back in, and then I got ranked and I was bad and I felt bad. So I haven't done that in a while.
Right.
So TFT is still technically a standalone.
Yeah, but you have to launch it.
You have to use it like the regular client, but it's a different category in like Twitch, so that's how I
Well, Legends of
that
Runeterra is a
determination.
separate app entirely, correct?
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's
Which is silly because they use essentially the same launcher to get into the games. And so I feel like it would be somewhat easy to get Legends of Runeterra just added to the existing Riot client that I access the other 2 games that they have in that universe. But that's fine.
to be fair, I'd rather they separate Teamfight
Did it the other way.
Tactics out entirely because I'll never play actual League, but I might play Teamfight Tactics.
I
It's
just
because
want
of the way
less
TFT
launchers.
is built, isn't it?
Yeah.
TFT is just like literally in League, and it's just like a mod they built themselves.
Right, yeah.
It's like jerry rigged. It's like you're secretly playing a normal League match. You don't know it.
I think you'd know, actually.
You never know. You'd have
I
no
know.
Okay.
The only thing that I've ever done and not known is accidentally gone into ranked and not played a normal match.
That's the only thing you've ever accidentally done in your life?
Ever in my whole life.
How'd you do in your ranked?
You know, I don't remember that particular time. Probably not great, though, because you're just in a whole different mindset if you're going in for norms versus ranked, you know?
The character from Cheers?
Norm.
Bryce,
Alex
what have you
sighed
been
while
playing?
saying that.
I've been playing Fallout 76, which... So, I talked about it a little bit last time, which I was like talking about, I've been enjoying it, the story is interesting and stuff, which... Okay, so I'm going to have a kind of mixed bag for you today.
Darian got up and walked away.
I'll be right back. I can still hear. I can still hear. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I need some water and my dice.
It's like... Bryce is talking now. I'm checking out.
Fallout 76. No,
So-
thank you.
Okay. So, in terms of it being an online game and its story mattering, I talked about how that kind of happened in an interesting way where I kind of made a choice where I was dealing with those raiders, and then when I went to complete a quest, those raiders were there and they were like, give us the deal. And I was like, wow, I honestly didn't expect that to come up again and it's an MMO. Like,
Yeah.
how would they account for that? But it's actually more than that that's been happening. And I'm curious how this is working, and maybe it's been happening all along and I just never noticed. So at a certain point in the story, a character will be like, hey, you need to go talk to this group of raiders and this group of settlers and get them this thing. And so I've been following that quest line, and since interacting with after interacting with the raiders, I couldn't tell you there's more or less raiders, but I do know that after interacting with the raiders for the first time, a bar came up and were like, your reputation with the raiders has increased. And I'm curious. I'm curious how that's gonna pay off. Like, if I see a raider, are they gonna not shoot at me? But after interacting with the settlers, I've seen settlers out in the world. Literally, there was a time where I was at a raider camp. I just kind of like wandered into this area with some raiders, and I go to start taking shots at them with a sniper rifle, and then suddenly I see a big firefight happening, and I'm like, what's going on? And there's different types of enemies. There's super mutants, there's raiders, there's random animals and stuff. And if they're from a different group, they might attack each other. Like I went to a town and there was a super mutant who is a traitor, and the raiders who run the town were just attacking him, and he is like he's a super buff character, so he was just going to town on them, and it was honestly awesome to watch.
Was that like a chance encounter, or was that like story driven?
No, it's the super mutant raider just wanders around. I've encountered him several times, but I think that the raiders are designed of like, we hate super mutants. So him being a super mutant, the raiders attacked him and then he defended himself. So it was just a fluke. It wasn't like
That's cool.
Yeah, so it was honestly like really, really cool. I just kind of like, and the dude has like a chain gun thing, a minigun, which I don't understand why they're called miniguns. They're quite large. And he was just going to town, and I just kind of stood back and watched.
I think if I had to guess, it's because each, it's a bunch of little guns together, right? That's a minigun. The cylinder is a bunch of smaller.
I guess.
That's what I would guess without looking it up.
But yeah, so I've seen these settlers out in the world, and they, in this situation, like I was going to attack these raiders, and these settlers just started attacking the raiders because obviously like that's their opposing groups, and like what was going to be a really tough fight for me, I just kind of walked up and just was like, oh yeah, I can finish these guys off. Like all the settlers survived. They were very competent, and now I'm seeing these settlers around the world, which I had not seen them before. So after reaching a like certain point in the quest chain, like the world is seeming different. Like there's NPCs that I did not see before, which is feeling
That's
very
cool. Yeah, because they can instance that then.
Yeah, which is very, very interesting. Like, how is that? Like, I know that people are having different. There's only so many people in the server, but also like there was a level 2 person in my server the other day. So it's like, how does it know? How is it keeping track? I don't know. Like, I do not know how any of that stuff works, but it does feel like the stuff I'm doing is having an effect on the way my game goes.
Does the game feel populated? And is it meant to, I guess?
No, I don't think it's meant to, because I think at most you'll have maybe like 20 people. I was going to say like 10 people, but there was an event that drew a big crowd, and there was quite a few people at one of those like, events where like, hey, defend this thing. Yeah. And there was a lot of people at that. There was a guy who was on mic who was saying some very weird stuff, but okay, that's gaming for you. Okay, so in terms of bad stuff, there is a quest line. So there's this character that you can interact with. Like, she's part of the main quest stuff, and she wants you to go do this thing, get a series of keys. And through this quest line, like, the difficulty is ramping up of like, hey, go get this key, and I'm at the point like I struggled through the last key where I had to go, like, basically they wanted me to get this key from this town run by super mutants, and I started like taking pot shots at them, but I was not doing much damage. And then I realized like it's just in there, and I just like ran through and grabbed it and got the heck out of there. But then I'm like, okay, and I think this is the last key she needs, but it's in a cave, and so I go into this cave, and there's some manageable enemies, and then I get to a certain point in the cave where it kind of opens up, and there's like this big ominous looking thing right inside the cave, and it's like level 40, and it just like it catches it sees me, and then just takes out like most of my health bar, but I realized that like there's a point in the cave where it couldn't get through, but I could get through. So I just kind of like poke my head in, take some shots, probably take some hits back, but just after like 20 minutes, I managed to whittle the thing down. And I'm like, cool, this will have the key on it, right? And it didn't. And I was like, okay, the key will be in the thing. I'll just go in and stuff. And then I went looking around. As a big open area, looked like it stretched for a while. And then I was looking around, and another one was there. And I'm like, no. And then so I ran back, and then I looked up. I was like, what? Where is it? And it's like, oh no, you have to kill a thing that's farther in. And I'm like, wait, so that wasn't the boss? This was
just the guy at the door.
Yeah, that's just the one of the guys you fight on the way. That's not a big deal. And I'm like, why is this leveling, like ramping so high on the same quest chain? That is so weird. So I wasn't a fan of that. And it's really annoying because the character who sent you on the quest, she runs like this radio station thing. And every time you start the game, she talks to you. And I figured she's like repeats the same audio line of like, hey, I'm starting to trust you, but don't betray me. And I figured after I finish this quest for her, she will stop saying this thing. But I can't because I can't take down the level 40 guy at the door to go face I didn't even check the level of the Wendigo. But apparently I have to take that down, which I can't even get to. So yeah, not a fan of that. Now, part 3 is I like this part about the game. I dislike this part. Now let's talk about the players. So there is a thing in Fallout 76 called the workshop, and it's basically kind of like hey, there's these areas throughout the world where you can kind of like hold, and there's a little stand that kind of has a capture the flag type thing to it. You can go up and you can spend an amount of caps and be like, I would like to take this workshop, and then you kind of have control of this big area, and there will be stuff where you can mine resources and stuff. It's a great way to get like resources that would normally be very hard to get if you're just like scavenging. Like I can literally set up a steel mining thing, and it'll just run, and it'll be great. And there's a bunch of different resources depending on which workshop you take. So I took this one at this racetrack thing. And normally every time I've taken the workshops, what'll happen is every so often you'll get a quest that'll be like defend the workshop, where NPCs will show up, like monsters will show up, and then you have to clear them out or else you lose control of the workshop. And what you can do is just set up a bunch of turrets so that the turrets will just take care of their stuff for you. You're good. And so I was playing. Oh, another thing to note is if you only have control of the workshop while you are logged in. If you leave at all, obviously you'll load into a different version, a different server, and you don't control that one. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
So it's very much like while you are playing, like you would want to grab that workshop at the start, get your resources and stuff, and hold it while you're playing. It's kind of an investment. So I took the workshop. I set up a shit ton of turrets. Just like I did not have. It did not matter what they threw at me. I had turrets for days, and then I left to go do missions and stuff. Like I would go. If my workshop got attacked, it'd be like, go defend your, I'd get a little thing that says, go defend your workshop and stuff, and then I could pop over there. I don't know if it was because I was in the middle of a different thing or if I was distracted or what happened, but I guess somebody else took my workshop because that's something that it can do. If you go to a workshop owned by someone else, you can pay.
You just pay more and...
No, well, you pay the amount, and then what happens is the flag starts to lower down and then goes back up to signal, and if the player who controls it shows up, they can attack you and prevent you, like whoever stays there. So while I wasn't paying attention, someone else had taken my workshop, and I'm like, well. Because I went to go travel back to my workshop and be like, oh, how's things? And I was like, why don't I own it? That's weird. And so I go up there to go.
Oh no.
Yeah, I go up there to take it back. And I guess the way it works is that like the person who currently owns the workshop, I guess while it's being contested, their stuff attacks the person trying to take it. So all of the turrets I built when I went to take it, all the turrets that I built fucking turn on me and just light me up. And I sat there. I went back over and over. Must have been 20 times. Just being like,
Wow.
This is mine. I will not die to my own turrets. And so
How did they get it then?
Right.
Well, so I think you only get attacked by the turrets if it's being contested, because I wasn't there
you weren't there.
Yeah, it just went all the way down, all the way up, nothing.
Man, you
up.
probably made that guy's day.
So I burnt, and every time I try to take it, I have to pay the caps, even if I don't succeed. So hey, pay 20 caps to try and take it. And then I think he also got a portion of my money for killing me.
Sounds like, yeah.
So there was I had to go run to the store to sell my stuff, to sell my guns, to go try and do it again. And I don't know. I think eventually he just was like, dude, I'm tired of you. That I came back after being like, okay, I just need 20 more caps and I can go back. It'll be I come back and just he sold everything. There was nothing he sold all my turrets.
No.
It was all gone. I was like, no, not like this. But so at the same workshop,
how long did this take?
It must have been 2 hours of us of him just sitting there watching me die over and over. And then, but I took with it after he had left and taken everything. I took the workshop and I just sat there. I built a little chair and I was like, I live here now. If you come to the sad fucking thing, he was 15 levels lower than me. If it was a straight up fight, it probably would have won. He was just killing me with my own turrets.
You're just sitting there in your rocking chair with your shotgun.
Yeah. So I just built I put up the turrets, and I was like, I'm not moving. If it becomes contested, I'm here for it. But
so Fallout 76 sounds like a good game.
I want to tell one more. At the same workshop earlier today, so I had set up a deal this time, and I was watching it. I was kind of just having a chill day where I was just letting the miners do its thing, and I grab the stuff out every once in a while. There was a dude in power armor who must have been level 111, and was level 29. He rolls up and is like, "I'm gonna make your day suck." And
did he say that to you?
No, but that's based on the stuff he did. So because I was there when he activated the thing, my turrets started attacking him, but he just blew them all up and then killed me. And then, but I respawned myself right back at the deal and ran back in, so he wasn't able to you need to keep the other player out for long enough for the flag to go all the way down, all the way up. And so I would rush back in, get just in the side of the circle, then he'd kill me again. I'm like, no, this is mine.
Please.
Bryce, I feel like you should find a different game to play.
Yeah.
Seems like
at a certain point,
time.
Yeah, at a certain point, I was just like, well, I cannot take him no matter what. And so I just sat at the very edge of the circle and hid there so that he couldn't find me. And I sat there for an hour, and he must have sat on his deal. And eventually he just must have got bored. And I was just like, yeah, my workshop's back. And that's what I've been doing to Fallout 76.
Oh my God.
So take that.
That's beautiful.
This is my review of Fallout 76.
I love that.
What do you think? I tried to get
an intervention.
I tried to get Beckers to play with me, but she didn't want to.
She was like,
I didn't tell
that story.
I didn't tell her any of this. I was just like, Beckers, you should play Fallout 76. Oh, frickers. Actually, I have another game. Oh gosh. Me and
What's it
Beckers
called?
actually. Yeah, I'm actually trying to find that out. Me and Beckers played a game. It's on the Epic Game Store. It's called The Cycle.
Oh,
it is called The Cycle.
I've had this downloaded for so long and never started it up.
So it's actually kind of interesting. It is Battle Royale adjacent, but you are dropped.
It's Tarkov style, right?
I'm not familiar with Tarkov. You were dropped on a world. It is round based, and you were dropped on a world, and you are given a series of objectives, and you are trying to complete those objectives to get more points. And there are different things like mine enough crystals, and then when you mine, and there are enemies, there are NPC enemies, these like monstery things. Like if you go to mine a crystal, these monsters will show up and attack you. And there are also things of like interact with these different objects and power up this power station. And there are objectives of like kill other players. And doing these will get you more victory points, and your goal is to get the most victory points. Me and Beckers played a few rounds of it. I was not very good, and we did not come very far at all. But it is there's not guns around the world. By completing objectives, you are earning money, and then you can spend that money for upgrades during the round and stuff, and go like, okay, I want this new gun. Based on how you do, you can unlock new guns that you will then have access to. It's interesting to have a battle royale that's not focused around killing. Like I guess it's not a battle royale either. I don't know what I don't know what genre this is, but it's interesting. I haven't played enough to make a verdict. Is it
survival? Like if you die, are you out then?
Yeah. Well, okay. So what happens is if you die, you respawn once, and then your respawn thing has a battery. And what you can do is go to where you had died before and collect your battery again, and then you'll be able to respawn one more time. But if you don't, then you die right away. Well, you get foamed, which is dying.
Yeah.
So there is sort of a respawn thing, but you yourself have to go retrieve your battery, and you probably don't want to go right back to your battery because whoever killed you will kill you again. I made that mistake early on. It's like it'll be.
It seems like you have a habit of.
Yeah. Yeah, I am. There is a thing about Bryce, and he's very stubborn and refuses to take it. I wonder if Matt sees any similarities between me and my D&D character.
It's becoming more and more apparent.
Yeah, so that's what I've
Is the shooting good?
It's
Or what could you compare it to, or what does it feel like?
Okay, so I honestly prefer to play stuff with a controller, but it seems like the thing is not built for a controller. For one, even so, it'll take controller input, but even when I'm playing the tutorial, it's like press this button, even though it knew I had a controller plugged in. And it was like press this keyboard deal. I tried playing a little bit on keyboard and mouse, but I'm so not used to playing keyboard and mouse, so I really don't want to make a judgment call on how the shooting feels because I'm not used to that style. Overall, it seems like it would be good. It seemed like, I mean, for one, Beckers seemed to be doing very well with her deal. I'm just not used to that style of play. But definitely, if you're looking for something,
it's free to play, right?
Yeah, free to play.
Epic.
Yeah, the world is interesting. Yeah, it is. It's on, and I think it's on season 2 based on this stuff that I saw when loading it up.
I downloaded it a long time ago, and I think I even have it I'll update every once in a while, and just I mean to launch that at some point. I don't know. Maybe I'll get into it.
Yeah, maybe me and Beckers can get our butts killed together.
Yeah.
I know it's got solos because Beckers was playing that while I was loading in, and it's got duos. I don't know how high it goes. But I just burped, guys. I burped with my mouth.
Yep.
Was it good?
I did.
That was a good one. Did you force the second one?
I sort of. I mean, I can force it. I can burp as much as
swallow a bubble of air and then
Yeah. My girlfriend can't. I can do it all I want.
I can do it a lot, and then I feel really sick at a point.
I guess I've never done it so much. I've done it to like I can tell I have gas and then I can like force it out, but I've never like done it for goofs.
Usually you get a pretty good one though. After you feel sick, you're like, oh, and then there's a big release, and you're like, yeah.
But Darian, can you force a burp?
Sometimes.
Okay. Well, this brings us to the video game news.
Nice.
Yeah, I can never hear that.
I know,
jingle,
so I have to tell you that
yeah,
it went.
I'm just like I'm gonna look in Matt's eyes and tell if it looks like he's done listening to it. Okay, as is our tradition now, we are starting off with quick news. Rocket League is going free to play, leaving Steam for the Epic Game Store. Which
they bought them a long time ago at this point.
Yeah, honestly, like I felt like Rocket League was already free to play. It surprises me. But I believe people who have purchased the game will be getting recompense for their purchase,
like keys or chests or something.
I think like
Season
DLC.
Pass.
Yeah, DLC stuff. Hey Matt, do you want a Nintendo Entertainment System?
Yeah, actually, this is a really cool thing.
Well, they're making one, but in Lego form.
Whoa.
Lego Nintendo Entertainment System. It is a Lego. It is an NES with a TV. I think that's like the important thing, that also you get kind of this TV that looks like it's playing Mario. You can like cycle it through in an interesting way.
Yeah, it's got a crank, right?
Yeah, it's got a crank and like looks like you're playing a level. The mechanisms are interesting. But yeah, a Lego NES system, which is a recreation of the classic Nintendo, and a TV that looks like it's playing Mario, will be coming out August 1st. What's really cool about it is they have that like smart Mario Lego thing that like makes sound effects. I mean, we saw an announcement of that a bit ago, and I think it's out. I think that's been out. I think so. But apparently you can put that on top of this and it'll like make sound effects as the Mario and the TV does things. It's very interesting. Overcooked All You Can Eat is coming out, which will be combining both Overcooked 1 and Overcooked 2 and the DLCs. But most importantly, will be our first opportunity to play Overcooked 1 online. Interesting. It'll include the first and second game, all with online play, and the DLCs. I think a slight graphical upgrade as well, which, I mean, the games aren't that old.
They looked fine.
Yeah, seems weird. But I'm excited to be able to play Overcooked 1 online. And there is a new Samurai Jack game coming in August. It looks like it looks like a Jack and Daxter style game, honestly. You would think it would be like a side scrolling, or
so
it's
like
not
a 3D platformer in that like PS2.
Yeah, honestly,
era.
It's honestly got very strong PS2 vibes. It's got kind of that, art style, not the art style you would expect from Samurai Jack, a very like PS2 art style. If you had told me there was a new Samurai Jack game coming out, I would be excited. After seeing what this game is, I'm not. So there's information for you.
Aaron, you like Samurai Jack?
Nope.
The cartoon?
Nope.
Wow.
That was like so the original was at such a weird time in my life that I couldn't get into it, right? I think I was too immature to understand the complexity of it.
But the theme song.
That doesn't okay.
He's got to get back.
Okay. But yeah. Nope. Don't care for Samurai Jack.
Wow.
I don't know anything about Samurai Jack.
Well, I know what we're doing for Christmas.
I'm sick then.
Getting cool gaming chairs.
I'm busy that day.
Oh, okay. I guess I don't have to get you the $1,495 gaming chair from Logitech and Herman Miller.
Hey, that's
You are
cheaper than
correct.
Darian said earlier.
You don't need to get me one of those. Thanks.
Well, so from what I understand, Herman Miller is like a very fancy furniture designer, and they have partnered with Logitech to make a super fancy gaming chair.
Yeah, they make like really ergonomic, I don't know, office chairs, right? That's like what they're known for. So I think people were using their chairs anyway as gaming chairs, so now they're making an official one for the gamers.
Yeah,
Darian.
like it doesn't like scream game. Honestly, if it didn't have the big blue on the back, it wouldn't scream. If it was all black, it would not. I would not be able to tell you this is a gaming chair.
Do you want it to look like a gaming chair though? Like, do you want your chair to be like?
Well,
this is where gamers.
Honestly, yes, because it's a deal of like if I don't, then it's just a office chair.
Yeah, it's just a really good office chair.
Then you should just say we're making a new office chair and stuff. But this was clearly marketed as a gaming chair. So, and I think people have a idea when you say gaming chair that you got kind of that like racing chair aesthetic.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of that.
Yeah, from my understanding, from what I've understood, most of those are not great. The only
Darian's
one
got a gaming chair though.
Darian,
and it sucks.
Oh.
Okay, there we go. the only one I've actually heard is good is the Secret Lab ones. That is the one that I have
Is
considered.
that the
getting.
wider one?
I couldn't tell. It looks similar.
Mm.
I just hear it's more comfortable. But this is designed to the Logitech and Herman Miller. I don't know if it has the Embody Gaming Chair, I believe is the name that this article says. The article is by Engadget, since I'm telling you that I'm citing this from an article. And it looks like it would be very comfortable. I could not tell you if it's $1,500 comfortable, but it looks like it would be a good place to sit.
I mean, if you're gonna spend those long gaming hours.
Here's the deal, Matt. You're a graphic designer.
Yeah.
You probably sit in your chair quite a bit.
Yeah, it's too much, really.
Well, like, would this be worth it to you? Like, if this was gonna make you
actually maybe, like honestly, especially if you can get some sort of like company incentive for it too, like some sort of equipment. This is part of my office needs.
Yeah.
Then I don't care, right? Then
it
doesn't matter how much it costs. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is a deal of like, as gamers, as computer gamers, like we probably spend a lot of time at our desks. Like Darian, how much time a week do you think you spend at a desk, at your computer desk, in that chair? Let's specify how much time a week do you spend in that chair?
I mean, I would say close to like 40 hours.
All right, I would so. $1,500 is a lot of money. Let's not pretend otherwise, but like it's almost a deal of like people say like you should spend a lot of money on your bed because you are going to spend a lot of
mattress because
yeah. So like for people who would spend a lot of money at their desk in a chair, like maybe this is a good investment. It's maybe not as ridiculous as they say. If it is as comfortable as they are touting, it might be worth it.
You probably spend more on your PC, and it probably lasts longer than your PC.
Maybe.
I would guess.
I would.
That it would last longer than like 5 years.
My last PC, which I'm hoping to use most of the parts from, lasted me. Last Geek Star 7 years.
7 years.
And I think I can, if I switch out the motherboard, it should be able to run again. Okay, well, that's some news, but now we're gonna
That
talk.
was a chair.
We're gonna talk about a game showcase. Matt,
We're gonna talk about real games now, not these fake Herman Miller chair games.
what if it had Rumble? Would Rumble make you more or less likely to purchase this chair?
Less.
Okay, probably the same.
I mean, you have like VR and stuff. I feel like you'd be fine with that. You'd be like, yeah, the immersion is there.
Except for like a space sim game, most games I would play would involve me standing, so Rumble would benefit me nothing in a chair. I would rather have some sort of pack that fastens to my body so no matter where I am, I got that Rumble in my tumble. Matt, can you tell me about the Xbox Series X game showcase?
I sure can, Bryce. This week, Xbox had their second event that's like, hey, this isn't E3, but it's also E3, and there seems to be one or two of these every time we record now, which I'm both like, okay.
E3 lasts all summer now.
Yeah. It's like, I guess that's good, but also they just keep announcing another event where they're actually going to reveal something, supposedly.
Yeah. I mean, we had the same thing at the Ubisoft event where they were like, look at this stuff, but don't worry, we have more later. We won't tell you,
we don't tell you the date or anything.
Yeah. It's just like...
Just announcing that we'll have more.
Just do it now and get it over with.
Yeah. So they led the show off with the much anticipated Halo Infinite.
Which we got gameplay of.
Yeah, it just went into a little walk around demo, I guess. Master Chief, you took control. Picked up in a cinematic based on the previous teasers. Like there was like a crash landing. Master Chief gets off the ship, gets out into the world, pulls out his assault rifle, starts shooting some grunts. The brutes show up. Gets on an elevator, drives a warthog around for a little while, opens up his map, and look at that. It's like an open world map, and you can look up the Halo ring, and it seems like maybe the whole ring is the world for this game. And they've described it as a spiritual reboot, sorry. According to this Polygon article. Halo Infinite, which the studio has described as a spiritual reboot.
That's nonsense.
And that was something that was kind of going around this week too with the cover art. They showed that before the show, and it was like, oh yeah, there's clearly a connection between Halo Combat Evolved cover art and Halo Infinite cover art. But yeah, since I got Game Pass, I installed the Master Chief Collection and been thinking like I should play the Halo games again. Which I only played Halo 1, 2, and 3. I haven't played any beyond that, so I guess I have a lot to play at this point. But
I think
Halo Infinite, I'm kind of interested. It'll be on PC, right? It'll be on Game Pass, so
what do you think? What do you think of the graphics?
I actually said out loud, when did Halo start having stylized graphics? That was like a thought I had out loud. I was like, when did they like abandon the realism and go for style?
Is that the feel you got off those graphics?
And that is the feel I got off those graphics. And I think it was after Halo 3. I think Halo 3, they went for like groundbreaking realism at the time, right? Of like realistic looking sci-fi.
Yeah. I mean,
and then I think after that, it's gotten kind of cartoony. But yeah, that's how I felt.
Yeah, the video game. I watched the Video Game Donkey video before this, and he started with like, look at the great graphics of the Xbox Series X. Look at Master Chief and stuff. And then he's like, oh wait, that was Halo 3. And then he shows stuff from Halo Infinite, and it's like, actually, that does look the same. So honestly, I'm not that invested in any of this to like be like, yes, it looks bad. It's just like, you know what? I think the people who are really upset might have a point.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I don't think they're going for realism. And I think they were at a point when the technology was more defined by that than it is now. But if that's how you're revealing your new console, I could see why you'd want to have, this is the most realistic looking thing or whatever. But that's usually what the car games are for.
Yeah. Tell me more.
But yeah, Halo. I think it'll be fine. I don't know. I feel like if it's not fine, I don't know if we ever see another Halo game or like a mainline like big Halo game.
They've put out lackluster Halo games. I think they'll be fine.
You think they'll just keep churning them? Yeah, like Game Pass.
It's the name. People just want the name.
Yeah, and I guess I'm interested to see how much like games as service this is, in the future, because that would be a really good value again for Game Pass.
What other shows did they case?
And then, some other games happened. I'm gonna go through the list here that Darian wrote, which is also the order of the article, from Polygon. As Dusk Falls, this game had a cool logo, and then it kind of looked cool. It was one of those story-based, choice-based games, You've seen the type.
It's very, God, what's the failed studio?
Telltale.
It's very Telltale-esque.
Yeah.
Like, so even the graphics, like, it looked like a Walking Dead game to me. But
it's interesting because it's more like storyboard art, right? Yeah, it's like painterly, which I actually think works really well in this scenario.
It looks really cool. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I'd give this one a shot. It's set in the American Southwest, I think. But it's created by an ex-Quantic Dream-led game design team called Interior/Night. Then there was Avowed. Avowed is basically Obsidian making Skyrim, it looks like. There was, it was a very short trailer. It's a fantasy RPG. Looks like it's first person primarily. It's set in the world of Pillars of Eternity, which is their popular RPG that they made. And I think they kickstarted a few years back. And, people always look at Obsidian and are like, oh, they made the best Fallout, right? With Fallout New Vegas. They had the best version of that. So I think they basically were like, okay, let's go make a better Skyrim, And that's, I think, where that's going to land. Fable. That's how the show closed. I don't know why that's like fourth.
Because it's... I'm trying to... I think this is alphabetical, except it opens with Fable.
Started.
Yeah.
It definitely is, except
Halo.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's like alphabetical, but twice.
Yeah.
And three times.
The show.
It's very weird.
Fable.
Yeah.
Fable's dope. First off,
Fable
it looks
is dope.
gorgeous.
I'm excited for a new Fable. The thing they just told us that there's a new Fable. The teaser gave us no information except it'll have fairies and toads.
Playground games, which I can't think off the top of my head what they have done. Playground games. It's familiar though.
I do enjoy Playgrounds.
Remake video games. Cool.
All right.
Forza.
Really?
Okay. Are they Forza Horizon or Forza?
Forza Horizon.
Okay.
Let's look at their Wikipedia.
So are they
Australian? Forza Horizon 2, 3, and 4, and then Fable.
So they made the popular Forza games of recent years.
What a wild ride.
Well,
here's a bunch of racing games, and then we're going to do Fable. What?
They are good at wild rides.
Yeah.
So...
Fable's getting rebooted, and it's by Forza
developer that made them.
What? The people who made the old Fable games, they are shut down, and the guy who used to make the Fable games is apparently very problematic.
Perfect. Well, this one's does nothing to do with that guy.
Yeah.
So,
Just
which
a
is
reboot.
great because I'm excited for Fable.
Yeah.
Back in the day, the whole idea of Fable was like they were gonna have the what's it called? The Renegade, Paragon Renegade, right? System of
yeah.
every choice you make in the world was going to influence that, and that was like a really big deal at the time. So I guess whatever the modern version of that is might be cool.
I only got to play like a total of 10 hours of any of the Fable games before, and they were magical to me.
Did I ever
loved that.
Did I ever tell you guys that I had a threesome with my brother in Fable?
I had a child because I
What's
didn't
the
use a
next
condom
game on the
in
list?
Fable. Forza Motorsport. That's right.
Which is not being made.
That's by turn 10.
Playground.
That's the regular Forza people. The regular sim racing Forza people turn 10.
So wait, are we
they
not
still making that?
Does that mean we're not getting a new Forza Horizon? Because that's the better one.
I guess so. That sounds like
That
Playground's
certainly
working on that.
is correct
Unless
right
they
now.
got 2 teams or something, but
Hmm.
I don't know. There's this little game called The Gunk. I don't think the name's great, but the game looked kind of cool. It looked
The
like
art
they
style is really cute.
Yeah, the art style was good.
I think I caught that after I had that threesome with my brother.
Gross.
The Gunk.
So
You're like vacuuming up gunk. It looks kind of they got
does
like
look cool.
Luigi's Mansion mechanics in it. So
see, it's
that
a
looks
little
alright.
bit of an exploration fighting puzzle game,
Yeah.
according to this. I'm not gonna lie, once you put space exploration into it, I check out. I don't know why. I don't give up anything about space exploration.
Darian hates space.
No.
They did say everything on Game Pass, right? That was like part of this.
I
don't know.
Yeah, I think they had said everything was in Game Pass, but I know that one of these games, I had heard that one of these games has a little subtitle thing that was shown that was like single player not available in Game Pass. I don't know which one it is.
All of these games announced at this show will be on Xbox Game Pass at launch,
okay.
and many of them will be released on the Xbox One.
I mean,
So-
yeah.
They made a point to talk about how several of these games were built from the ground up for the power of the Series X, which is just like, stop lying to me. Like, no, they weren't. Anyway, Phantasy Star Online 2, New Genesis. I don't know what that is, but it's PSO2 and people like PSO2. If you don't know what PSO2 is, maybe check it out. I don't know, it's been running for like 15 years, 20 years at this point as an MMO, and it's recently available in North America. Is that right? Is that timeline right?
Sure.
Stalker 2.
Stalker, I hardly know her.
Thank God.
That's why you would do that.
You don't.
Silly goose.
I should stop talking for the rest of this podcast.
Yeah, that's Oof.
What is this game about?
I don't know. Is it a horror shooter? I'm not going to watch the trailer. Stalker 2. That was
It
announced.
looks really creepy. Like, it looks almost Silent Hill-esque.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
that's right.
trailer.
Because in the trailer, I was like, "Oh, is this a Silent Hill game?" Or like, was that rumor
but
true? No.
It's not. There's no. Okay, Stalker 2 is coming. It's a sequel to an already existing game that we've all heard of.
State of Decay 3. That's weird because I swear they just released State of Decay 2.
I thought they released State of Decay 3.
Well, now State of Decay 3 is coming. Maybe
Nice.
again. The trailer for that was really good. Like the cinematic, I was like, "Oh, this is neat looking. I can't wait to see what this is." And they were like, "Oh, it's State of Decay 3." And I was like, "Wait. Did they just release those games like every 3 months now? Like what's going on?"
No, I think
It's becoming the new Assassin's Creed.
I think the State of Decay
Every year.
I think State of Decay was a while ago. I think your memory is off. Should I look
Maybe it came to Game Pass.
Somebody explain to me what State of Decay is, because I
believe
not
it's like an
familiar.
isometric perspective. You're up above the characters, and it's survival and looting, and it's zombie themed.
Oh.
But the trailer was cool.
State of Decay 2 is a zombie survival game with an emphasis on scavenging for items in which gameplay is experienced from a third-person view. The game is set in an open-world environment and features cooperative gameplay with up to 3 other players. If I remember correctly, like you're kind of like building up a base and you're like, oh, I need to go do these things. But what's kind of cool is that like each character will have names and like they get taken down by a zombie. You lost Charlie.
That's it.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah, so it's kind of got like a high intense deal of like, well, I need to go do this, but you know, if I lose a person, they're gone. Are you trying to escape this podcast?
Trying to escape.
Tetris Effect. You've heard of it. It launched on the PlayStation. Well, now Microsoft's getting their turn.
But they're juicing it up.
And
yeah,
they're making it multiplayer.
Multiplayer. Tetris Effect Connected.
Does that mean the multiplayer is not coming to Switch?
Okay. The more important question is, does this mean people who have bought Tetris Effect have to rebuy it to get these new features?
I don't have the answers.
Okay,
I would say maybe it costs more money and it's like $10 to get that or something.
Maybe.
But Tetris Effect Connected, the multiplayer looked wild. It was like 4 people are playing and then their boards are all connected and then you can slide pieces all the way across. I thought that was crazy. Blew my mind.
Go on.
Anyway.
Wait, why
I'm
did
not
I
gonna
think
play
Tetris Effect... Is Tetris Effect even on the Switch?
No.
No.
That's Tetris
I'm
99.
an idiot. This whole time, I thought we were talking about Tetris 99.
Don't worry. There are 99 versions of Tetris currently available in the world.
At least.
But
There's probably
Tetris
more
on the
than that,
Effect on the Switch ain't one.
realistically.
Yep.
Oh.
Maybe soon. Maybe not.
That was smooth.
Warhammer 40K Dark Tide.
Ooh.
Cool.
Do you guys know anything about the Warhammer universe?
I know things about it. They're space marines. It's a real bad scene. You don't want to be in that universe because there's lots of bad things in it, but it involves a lot of guys, and there's like space orcs and space marines, and it's a bunch of jerks.
All right. Well, based on that, it looks like those guys are in this game. And also, it's called Dark Tide.
Mm-hmm.
And they released a game called Vermintide not that long ago, and it was basically Left 4 Dead. So I think this will be basically Left 4 Dead.
I don't know. Cool. I don't know if that's true because the Warhammer 40K universe is basically like the D&D universe, but if the D&D universe took place over multiple planets. So it's like if you could make any sort of game in the D&D universe. There's literally there's
just one.
Cut them up.
You just have to name one.
I was like, genres. Think of the genre where you just attack a thing over and over and there's nothing else to it. That one. There's an idle game in the D&D universe.
That's what I was going to say when you said you attack a thing over and over.
No. It's, sort of like a brawler type thing, like a Diablo-esque. God, I cannot.
It's fine.
It's fine. Also there's a classic
Warhammer's
RPG.
Universe similar to D&D's universe.
Yeah,
I think because it's called Dark Tide, like Vermintide, the tide indicates that there is a co-op, first-person style. It's not survival as much as it is just like horde mode, but with objectives or places to go, like Left 4 Dead. Like you have to get from point A to point B with your group of people co-op.
I will now read you the description from the Steam page. From the developers of the best-selling and award-winning franchise Vermintide, Warhammer 40K Dark Tide is a visceral 4-player co-op action game set in the hive city of Turturum. Fight together with your friends against hordes of enemies in the new Warhammer 40K experience. I believe Matt was correct in the statements he has made.
Yeah. Man, we should make that a game where it's like...
Is Matt talking out of his ass or not?
Bryce finds like a game name and tells you the name of the game and the developer, and like you have to like try to put together what kind of game it is, what genre it is, how it plays. Anyway, Crossfire X. I don't know anything about Crossfire, other than that it was a board game, and I don't think this is related.
But what if it is?
It might be.
I like how Matt has watched all of these trailers. I watched the ones that I felt interested in, and Matt can't tell me if this is based on the board game.
This was days ago.
Okay.
Destiny 2, Beyond Light. Man, that really made Halo look like not as cool, and it was like, wow, that's like good Halo.
Okay, so what is this? Is this a new expansion? Is this...
Yeah, it's their new fall release expansion, but the big news was that Destiny and the DLCs are coming to Game Pass.
Cool.
So you can play for free. If you have Game Pass, I guess. You pay for your subscription, you can play for your subscription price with all the DLCs. Not the seasonal content, so like they do, I don't know, they do like the limited time seasons for 3 months at a time kind of thing, but then also larger, expansions.
Next game,
Everwild. This is the new game from Rare. It looks really cool.
It's gorgeous. I really want to play this game. Oh my gosh.
It looked like Dauntless or Monster Hunter, as this article says, but instead of like slaying monsters, you are collectively healing monsters that are like, injured animals, was kind of what the trailer looked like.
It's got some real witchy vibes.
Yeah, it definitely had witchy stuff going on.
Give me some witchy vibes games. Give it to me.
That game looks awesome. I'm excited for it. Anyway, Everwild. Play it when it comes out. Grounded comes out like this week.
Grounded is so cute. So I just watched the trailer for it, and it said, if you're waiting for the biggest game of this year, then wait for Cyberpunk.
this is the Honey I Shrunk the Kids game, right?
It's Honey I Shrunk the Kids, but with your friends.
If you like crafting survival games, this one's got some objectives.
Yeah, it's Fortnite. I Shrunk the Kids.
It's not Fortnite. I don't think it's
got
Versus.
A stylized.
You build a base, don't you?
Style.
Yeah, but I don't think it's like
It's more like
it's not a
Rust
battle royale
or
but,
Minecraft. Then
I mean, let's not.
It doesn't even really look like it would have PvP. It looks like it's very limited. You enter with your friends, and you're trying to survive your backyard, and you're the size of an ant. I don't think there's going to be PvP, so there's like not. It doesn't look like anyway.
Guys, can I tell you about a video game that a company was making? And it was, you're gonna build up a base, and then you'd be attacked by waves of zombies, and then you'd have to collect stuff for base building. And it was called Fortnite. But then they decided to ruin it with this dumb thing where you shot each other.
Then they turned Fortnite into wannabe PUBG and ruined both franchises.
Didn't Fortnite just come out of early access? Save the World. Just came out of early access.
Don't know. We lost track of that.
Yeah, it's the Save the World was supposed to be free to play eventually, but they kind of forgot
it might be now.
I will Google that right now while you tell me about the game that Darian will be stoked
The next
about.
game is called The Medium, and it looks dope.
That looks gorgeous.
It looks real cool.
The graphics are beautiful. The story looks creepy.
Yeah. Creepy AF.
I want to play it so bad. I'm so mad that so many of these are on the Xbox. Like
Game Pass, they're all on Game Pass.
Yeah,
if you have
but
PC, they'll probably be on
going to be getting an Xbox Series X now, is what this is telling me. The amount of games that I'm excited about in this release, I just am going to get an Xbox just to resolve that issue for myself.
You might be able to get a 1S or one of the other models too, depending on how their cloud service works. And streaming will work.
So the Medium specifically says it's optimized for Series X.
Yeah, they said that.
And this is the one I'm arguably the most excited for. This and Fable. And Fable, I think they did say they're doing it on both, but I would like the nicer graphics that are absolutely going to be on the Series X. That matters to me.
I'm planning on playing as many of these as I can on PC, I guess, at this point. But I don't see myself buying either console of the new consoles right now.
Yeah, I was hardcore PS5 and now I'm like, well, looks like I'm getting both.
Let's see. Obsidian continues their they were grounded and avowed. They can continue their run with an expansion to the Outer Worlds called Peril on Gorgon.
I'm gonna talk about the Outer Worlds real quick, but the Fortnite in June 2020, they decided Fortnite Save the World would be pay to play. They are not,
and then they took it out of early access in July.
Yeah, they released. They were like, "Hey, we're taking out early access, and you have to pay, just so you know." And yep.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. The Outer Worlds, that is a great game. I honestly, if you like Fortnite, if you like, or not Fortnite, God, Fallout. But want something that isn't as like drab to look at. Like it's still like stuff isn't great, but not to the level. Like things haven't been atomically blown up. But it's kind of
just always this way.
Yeah, it's just like a. Hey, this is what it would be like if corporations were just like in charge and there was nothing to rein them in. And so it's like everything's just for money, and that's going to leave a lot of holes where it was like, actually it costs too much to care about this, so we're not going to. But the companions are really great. They have really cool story arcs. Honestly, like I was straight tearing up at the end of that game where they had the epilogue is like, here is what happened to all of the characters based on the decisions you've made, because you could decide to help the characters, and there are choices that will matter. And I played it on Xbox, and honestly I've considered playing it again on PC, and I've been waiting for the expansion, and it is here, and it seems to add a new world. I'm very curious to see if it adds a new companion. We didn't see anything from the trailer. It seemed to just kind of be like, there's a new world named Gorgon, and there's stuff to do there. But I'm stoked for more Outer Worlds content.
The next one is Psychonauts 2. Did you ever play Psychonauts?
No, and I honestly, it looks weird.
It looks kind of neat. I think I'd try this out, depending on the price or depending on, its accessibility to me on Game Pass. But the trailer featured Jack Black singing, and so that was entertaining.
So that's beautiful.
And it was it's pretty trippy at parts. It was kind of cool. It had like a, I feel like Beatlesy kind of vibe to it when they got all trippy, not when they were all like, "This is rock and roll, mate."
Darian didn't include this game on the list, so
I know.
Did I miss one?
Yeah, it was Psychonauts.
I tried so hard. It's a good thing you're using the article and not my list.
No, I looked at the list, and then I looked at the article, and I looked back at the list. I was like, uh-oh.
Like there's something off.
I'm sorry that in the 153 games that they have
I don't believe that number's accurate.
I missed one.
Can you tell me why?
I think this game looks really good.
Tell me why.
Can you tell me why?
Did you guys watch this trailer?
Yes.
No.
So it follows twins with a supernatural bond, and basically they see visions when something emotional is going on, and it gives them like a secret insight to stuff that's going on. And it looks like they were separated when they were younger.
Is this a parent
trap? And I think the power only works when they're together, just based on what I'm picking up. And it looks really cool. And it's made by Don't Nod.
Yeah, it's a Don't Nod game.
Who made Life is Strange, which is also beautiful. So I'm excited for this one.
I like the things you're saying. I just really want this to happen at a summer camp with Lindsay Lohan.
Nope.
Can the Backstreet Boys be there?
That.
Why would the Backstreet Boys be?
That's not it.
Because it's called Tell Me Why.
Oh, I guess.
Tell me
Ain't
why.
nothing but a
I will accept your
heartache.
proposal if that's the soundtrack behind Lindsay Lohan's shenanigans.
No.
All right.
They got to get their parents together, or else they'll be sad.
The premise of that movie is so wild.
Really, really. But what if they had a supernatural connection where they saw visions?
It's got nothing to do with that. They weren't separated at birth. They were separated when they were like 8 or 9. Like they were raised together for a while and then separated from each other because
What?
they were telling these stories and corroborating each other's stories. And I imagine they were like, well, these kids are
No.
going crazy. We need to get them away from each other.
No, because they didn't know they had a sister. They just knew that, like,
Wait, there was a third kid?
no, what?
Oh, okay.
There's
They
the-
each didn't know that they. Okay.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain they were separated at birth. At least young enough that they didn't know they had a twin.
Identical
You,
twin.
yes,
Yeah,
I
because
did.
they were both Lindsay Lohan.
They were both Lindsay
Because they're
Lohan.
both Lindsay
We're
Lohan.
describing the Parent Trap, by the way, in case we haven't said that.
Matt,
This is
please tell me the
ridiculous.
next game so I can stop talking about the Parent Trap. Unless I can find a way to talk about the Parent Trap in.
The next game is called Balan Wonderworld.
I don't have anything
It is
yet.
a Square Enix made game.
Good.
So Square's
Um,
great.
I was like, oh, this is a cool style for a JRPG. And then we got to the game. I was like, oh, this is like a platformer. This is a 3D platformer.
I mean,
It looks so weird.
did Square Enix publish or did they make Tomb Raider? I think-
Crystal Dynamics.
Okay, but Square Enix published it.
Yeah. They're owned, by them.
Yeah. So Square Enix is making this. They're not publishing
Yeah, this
it?
is a Square Enix new studio called Balan Studios, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Making Balan Wonderworld.
So it's not like Final Fantasy folks. They're like, we're
No.
not. You thought we were gonna finish Final Fantasy VII? No, we're gonna make this.
Here's
it's got
my
kinda
theory with what they're
Mario
doing for Final
vibes.
Fantasy VII.
Tell me your theory.
They are going to.
I like how I'm just barely in the frame.
I'm okay.
I like it here.
I can see your whole background, and it almost looks like Foster's Home for Imaginary
Ooh,
Friends
so
meets
close. I will tell you what it is at the end.
My Little
and
Pony.
I will tell you.
Oh, them's fighting herds.
Ah, okay, you got it. Yes, I was.
It's because Darian said My Little Pony.
Yep.
I looked at that.
Before we started podcasting, I told them the background I'm currently using is related to a game that I have done a Let's Play for, and they did manage to get it. It is. I did Google pictures from My Little Pony because I did a Let's Play of them fighting herds. Good job.
Wow, we nailed it. I hope you're
Wait,
sitting
so
on
it
that
is
side of
My
me.
Little Pony?
It is a My Little Pony background.
I did it. Oh my gosh. Okay.
You cooperated to figure out both parts of my puzzle.
We corroborated.
We
Okay,
corroborated the evidence.
It's a cool word.
Okay, tell me
Final
more
Fantasy
about games.
VII, they're going to stealth drop, but it's going to be on the PS5.
I don't believe that will be the case.
I'm convinced. I mean, they're going to release it on the PS4 as well, but
You want to make a pizza bet?
nope.
Okay.
Yes. What kind of pizza? Hold on.
Whatever kind you want.
Domino's.
2 toppings, probably.
Domino's is not acceptable.
Okay.
I will not make this pizza bet.
What kind of pizza are you into?
Wait, okay. Can it be if you win, I
Tell
get
you
you a
what.
Domino's pizza?
Tell you
And
what.
if I win, you get me a Papa John's pizza?
Tell
Bryce
you what.
has like 30 free pizzas from Domino's. That's
I
why
do.
he's willing to do the
I
Domino's.
do. I mean, I'm more like I want a Domino's, but I'll tell you what. You can have whoever wins gets one large pizza from the pizza joint of their choice.
What's the bet?
If it's stealth
That they're
dropped
going to
or not.
stealth drop Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 with the PS5.
No, that's 5 years out.
No, it's not. There's no way. No, there's no way. They kept it under wraps for so long. There's no way they're not further along than they're saying they are.
It took them 15 years to make Final Fantasy 15.
Matt, be quiet. I want free pizza.
I will
Darren.
not take you up on this
Damn.
deal.
Okay, Matt, please tell me about video games.
Dragon Quest XI S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. That's right. You haven't played Dragon Quest XI yet? Well, now's your chance. It'll be on the next Xbox.
I never will. Next game.
Okay. Echo Generation. I gotta watch the trailer for this because I don't remember what it is. Hold on. Okay, you got some kids running around. The scale of it looks kind of cool. Oh, it's turn-based combat. I don't care.
Okay.
There you go.
Next game.
Exo Mecha.
Cool.
The description says Twisted Red game is a free-to-play online competitive first-person shooter. Oh wow, graphically it looks pretty goog. Yeah, I don't know. That's if you're looking for a free-to-play first-person shooter. There you go. Hello Neighbor 2, a sequel to Hello Neighbor. I didn't know they were done with the first one.
What do you mean? There's Hello Neighbor. That one was out for quite some time. I think that got really big with like Let's Players. Like that game is weird. It's one of those like Five Nights at Freddy's type deal of like there is no way that this should be as popular with kids as it is. Like there's stuffed toys of it and
Yeah.
Stuff, and it's like
At PAX they handed out a bunch of like masks and plushies and stuff.
yeah, and it's like why? Like Hello Neighbor has that kind of like creepiness vibe. I watched some friends stream it, and it also seems to be like a super obtuse game that you could not succeed at without using a guide. So this seems like a game that has only succeeded because of Let's Players making funny.
The premise is that your neighbor has like a locked basement or something, and you were trying to get access to the basement, but every time you fail, you start over in your house, but then the neighbor has learned something about the way you are attempting to play. So like they'll patrol different areas, or if like you broke a window, they'll have repaired that window, but maybe set up a camera looking at that window kind of thing. But the neighbor themselves is AI.
Yeah.
But I thought that game was like in early access.
No, I think it's been out for quite some time, and it has. So there's 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 two spin-offs to it. There's Hide and Seek, which is a prequel. It involves kids. I'm not going to tell you what's up with them because that's technically spoilers for Hello Neighbor, which is weird because like the description of a video game is spoilers. And then there's Secret Neighbor, where you are. It's a multiplayer game where you are playing as kids, but one of the kids is secretly the Hello Neighbor guy trying to do shenanigans.
It kind of plays like Dead by Daylight, but you don't know who the killer is, right?
Secret Neighbor, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay. And yeah, I guess now we're getting another Hello Neighbor 2 to continue the story.
Yeah, the future of Hello Neighbor. And that's mostly it for the Xbox thing. They said they'll have another one, and I guess we'll get the price.
Yeah,
maybe.
If you're wondering, neither PS5 or Xbox has had a price announcement. There was a day earlier this week, I think it was this week, where everybody on Twitter was like, okay, we're getting pre-orders are going to come up today, and then just nothing happened. Like I was at work, I got off work and just saw the deal of like, oh, it didn't happen. I was like, what I missed? I guess nothing. That whole thing is a whole thing.
What do you think the prices are going to be?
600.
500 for the disc version. Well, we need to pay for the future of gaming consoles, and we need our Patreon producers' help to do it. Aaron C. and Dragons Lucas, thank you for helping us make this content, talk about the games, talk about all the cool jokes about like that time that I tried to name video game genres involving Dungeons and Dragons, and other jokes. I feel like I made a joke recently. Oh, it was the Parent Trap joke. That was the good one. That was the one I was trying to...
That was the good one.
That was it. That was the good one, he says.
Yes. The one...
What was the bad one?
The bad one was where I was trying to name a Dungeons and Dragons genre, but that was me just being an idiot. But Aaron C. and Dragons Lucas help support this show by going to patreon.com/lastgeek to give a monetary compensation for our hard work each week. And for $5 a month, you can do that too and receive a shout out in each and every episode of Ready Set Gamecast. So thank you for supporting this show. Darian's gonna take the mic for a bit and tell us some stuff.
So we are going to be, the next episode of Ready Set Game Chat is going to take place on September 6th. We are going to be playing I suppose it's just like a narrative adventure. It's exploration game, a narrative exploration game, I would say. It gives me What Remains of Edith Finch vibes, which is why I picked it.
What's
I know that Bryce liked that game, and I liked it too. This game is called The Suicide of Rachel Foster. You can play it on your Xbox. You can play it on your PlayStation. It's also available on Steam.
Also, let me check Humble Bundle. Right,
I was going to say,
if you're listening to this live, there is currently a Humble Bundle that features the game for $15. You get that game and a bunch of other ones. And
yeah, if you buy the bundle, it's like a couple bucks cheaper than if you just bought the game, and you get the whole bundle.
Why? I'm seeing.
I bought the game when it was on sale on Steam. It goes on sale kind of pretty frequently. It's a game about exploring an old hotel that your parents owned, but they died, so now you're trying to sell it.
Okay, I found.
And there's secrets.
Okay. That's a good setup.
I found the bundle. It is going for another 8 days as of the recording of this. Can someone math out what's 8 days?
8 days from now is going to be the
5 days.
It's 3rd of August.
3rd of August. There is currently a Humble Bundle featuring Daedalic Entertainment games. For $15, it's you will receive The Night of the Rabbit, Fire, A Year of Rain, Cryofall, State of Mind, The Great Perhaps, Air Memories of Old, Iritus, Lord of the Dead, The Suicide of Rachel Foster, which is the game that we will be playing and discussing, Iron Dagger, and Ken Follett's The Pillars of Earth. So for $15, you can get this game from Humble Bundle.
Included, yeah.
And all these other games.
We're also doing a giveaway where you can enter to win a copy of the game.
I haven't bought it
Wait,
yet.
are you
Can I
giving
enter?
away the whole ass Humble Bundle? Or just the game?
Let's say the whole bundle, and I'll figure out how to make this happen.
Well, you just have to send them the keys.
Yeah, you just buy it as a gift.
Oh yeah, I bought it as the whole thing, and so I guess I can send them each individual key because I already bought.
You are entering at the very least to receive a copy of The Suicide of Rachel Foster. There may also be added bonuses. We'll see what happens when we get there. How you enter, you're going to go to twitter.com/RSGamecast, because I believe that's what our Twitter handle is.
Yes.
You're going to hit that follow button. And then you're going to tweet out at us, and you're going to tell us your favorite episode of Ready Set Gamecast. By the way, they're numbered, and right now we're on episode 76, so you can just pick a number.
Is that why Bryce played Fallout?
Ooh,
What?
That's actually pretty good. I mean, I've been playing it for a little bit, but that seems more. I actually started it on the 4th of July because I was like, this seems right, because it's, patriotic themed. Anyway.
Please tweet at us. There's no hashtag, just tweet at the Ready Set Gamecast Twitter account, and you'll be entered. It's going to be super fun.
So to be clear, the requirements to enter are you have to be following the account and you have to tweet at us.
Yes.
Okay.
We have to be tagged in it, otherwise there's no way for me to track it.
Yep.
Cool.
So, easy peasy. You can get a copy of the game, play along with us.
When will this giveaway end? When will we draw for the winner?
Let's do it on the 23rd of August, because that'll give them 2 weeks to play.
Okay.
2 weeks to find time to play.
Okay.
And then you can send in a response, because you definitely played if you want. You don't have to. It's not required. It's not part of the giveaway. But it'd be fun.
I would very much hope you do, because it would be real weird for you to do this to get the game and then not play the game. So please only enter if you intend to play.
Well, we can't quite set that rule. It's a preference, but we can't.
I intend to play a lot of games yet.
I mean, if you intend to play, like if life gets in the way and you don't play, but if you like are intending to, everyone can have intentions.
And so that's happening.
Okay.
Enter to win a copy of the game The Suicide of Rachel Foster, which we will talk about in depth on September 6th.
That sounds far away.
I'm very excited
but it's
for
not
it.
That far away.
It's really not.
August.
It's almost August.
Almost August, it's the month after that.
Now that that's out of the way, it's time to do questions and comments. Do you want to be a part of the show? Go to readysetgamecast.com/submit to submit a question, comment, or your favorite upcoming game from the Xbox event, the Series X event. Any of the games that they did, tell me your favorite. I was not anticipating to be excited about as many games, but I sure was, and now I'm mad about it.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I'm excited. More video games.
After watching it, I was like, okay, that was all right. But like going back through, it was like, oh, there's a lot of good stuff in there.
There's so much good. Okay, so the first question is from Erin, and she said, how do you think 2020 has been doing gaming-wise? Do you have a game of the year yet? So first question, how do you think 2020 has been going gaming-wise? Matt.
I was just thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking that, you know how everyone's like 2017 was a really good year. We got Horizon, Breath of the Wild, stuff like that. I was like, I think 2020 is the strongest year we've had in several years.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
I also don't see it. All of the big name releases so far this year. No, all of the big game releases that they've had so far this year have kind of tanked. They've fallen short of expectations.
I mean, we've got The Last of Us 2, which I still need to play. Fallout or
Last of Us 2, really good to watch. Enjoyed it thoroughly.
But I haven't played it or watched it yet, so I don't know exactly how it goes. But I've seen a lot of offhanded comments about how it was not what people expected it to be, not what people wanted it to be.
Doesn't mean it's not good.
Disappointment.
I don't know. I think people who really enjoyed it kind of like quietly took it in because like they would not want to spoil an experience they really enjoyed for someone else. Because I saw a lot of, I found it for like I've muted most of the keywords that I would associate with The Last of Us on Twitter, but I see people just like posting like the screenshot of the final thing of like done, and like what sucks is like I know it's the final thing because of the way people have talked around it, and it's like don't do that. I don't want to see a glimpse of how this could end.
Right.
Doom Eternal, Animal Crossing,
well,
Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, Ooblets, Fall Guys,
Final Fantasy
Tony
VII
Hawk remake, Final Fantasy VII. When was that? Last year?
Was that Final Fantasy VII?
That was this year in April. It was
Final
supposed
Fantasy.
to be.
Wow.
Final Fantasy VII Remake was supposed to come out last year in November, I think, and then it got pushed back to February, and then it got pushed back to April.
Did Call of Duty Warzone come out this year?
Yes.
Warzone, another one.
None of these have really blown my hair back, and I will say I still need to play The Last of Us. I will try to get to Final Fantasy, but like nothing's blowing my hair back. There's nothing that's like, wow, that's the greatest. And like Ghost of Tsushima, I hear mixed stuff about it. Like I hear that it gets very samey.
I feel that way about every open world game.
Yeah, I feel like that's a problem with the genre.
So it's probably fine.
Okay. Yeah. So far, I'm not.
I don't know. I think it's been a really strong year, and I think people will look back and realize that. But now in it, they'll be like, "Oh, this has been a slow year."
I hope at the end of the year that it comes out okay. But as of right now, like Ghost of Tsushima was the same thing. Like it was so hyped and there was so much around it. And the game has been slightly disappointing. Like it's fun to play, it's like smooth mechanics wise, but the story is so lacking. Right? And
That's what I've heard. Yeah, like if
that's
the
what
game
I've
didn't
heard
have a
about
story,
it.
it'd be better, kind of thing.
Right.
I think that
And
was.
so I feel like just with those two big games having that kind of discussion about them is not promising. The only negative thing I heard about Breath of the Wild in 2017 was from Super Killer Bunny.
Yeah.
Like nobody else had anything bad to say about that game.
That is. Yeah. I'm glad. Honestly, This is makes me glad. Like we have Matt on the podcast to kind of balance the deal things out, and we're not all just like everything sucks. But right now, I'm definitely not in that mindset that Matt is, and maybe if we end up doing a game of the year for this year, we'll see how things sit that time. But we'll be discussing the future later. But Darian's gonna ask the next question.
So wait, did anyone say if they had a game of the year yet or not?
Oh, it's
yeah.
probably Animal Crossing at this point, like because I played it so much, but I've also fallen off of it so hard.
It would have to be Animal Crossing for me too, because I think that's the only thing that came out this year that I've really put much time into.
See, Animal Crossing was really good. But my game of the year is going to be Final Fantasy VII Remake. But
Makes sense.
also have an extreme amount of nostalgia for that game, and
Okay, my game of the year is gonna be Fall Guys, probably. So
I mean, that probably like if I had to pick right now, I'd be forced to pick Animal Crossing. But I imagine The Last of Us is more likely, or is something that's yet to come.
right, like
also
Cyberpunk.
Tony Hawk remake. Oh
Or-
man, it's probably gonna be that.
I do not know how I'm going to feel about Cyberpunk because like
Really?
The more I see about that game, the less I care. It's
yeah,
like-
there's a lot, and also like I'm turned off by the fact that I'm forced into first person, and it seems like it's almost too much. Like they have the whole deal of like watch the memory tape and do stuff, and I'm like, why? So it's
no.
yeah.
when they showed gameplay and it was like, hey, this is an RPG, but it has action in it, I was like, oh, like the shooting doesn't look good. The movement doesn't look good. Like that's gonna be
no.
maybe they're trying to do too much stuff and not nailing any of it, and because honestly, having one or two features that you're really good at is better than having 20 things that nothing's great. And I'm not saying that's what Cyberpunk is. We don't know yet, but nothing's ringing my bell right now.
Sad.
Okay.
Okay, the next question is from Cam, and he asks, "What is everyone's favorite race and class in D&D?"
I feel like for 2/3 of us, we have a very selective choice, or a very specific mindset to pick from. I'm gonna say half orc ranger.
Hold on, I gotta look at a list so I can choose.
Let's let Darian take the show for a second while Matt looks at things.
So my favorite race is Drow. I've always loved Drow so much, and I don't get to play them very often because a lot of DMs will not allow them.
Why?
And because it's more difficult to play as a Drow because they're like kind of allergic to sunlight and stuff, so it makes it a little bit more difficult on the whole party if you have a Drow and you're just like out in sunlight and stuff. Like they have like more specific mechanics. So they're my favorite. As far as class, I don't really have one of those. I mean, I like playing as a fighter in first edition because it's very simple. But in 5th edition, I kind of prefer like the more rogue stuff, but also not. I like druids too, but I don't have a preference.
I'm picking a druid, but now I have to pick a race, and I have to figure that part out. Oh god, there's a pop-up ad.
God. See, I want to tell you. I want to tell you a character I want to play, but like, if Fergus bites it, I might end up playing that character. So I don't want to spoil it.
What's a furbolg?
Furbolg?
So Justin's playing one of them in the Adventure Zone. They're very like nature-y.
They're bear men.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's a thing to compare them to.
Oh, bear men. Not bear men. I thought you meant like naked
bear
dudes.
Men. That's what Becker should have played as a furbolg.
No, wow, what is it?
So they're kind of dwarfy?
Fey-oriented half giants in D&D.
Half giant? That sounds tall. I thought they were small.
Nope. They are Fey-oriented half giants. Their tribe's cloister. Okay. In remote forest strongholds, preferring to spend their days in quiet harmony with the woods. When provoked, furbolgs demonstrate formidable skills with weapons and druidic magic.
I like them. I'm going with that.
I'm not getting the bear vibe off of them that you seem to be describing.
So I searched the wrong way to spell furbolg. There's a furbolg race in World of Warcraft.
Oh, okay.
They are bear men in World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
It's not spelled the same way for D&D. And that
you said bear men, I pictured naked men.
They're just snaky boys.
Yeah, there is a... God, I can't remember.
Though I like dwarves. I think a dwarf is pretty solid.
Dwarf is my second. Because my favorite character in first edition is a dwarf fighter who's based off of Poppy from League of Legends. She's my baby. She's named Poppy, and I love her. And I have 2 miniatures for her. There's one from before she went to hell, and then I bought one to paint for when we save her from hell.
I'm trying to think of the race from that is more bearish. But I'd really like to play a goblin.
Why a goblin?
Goblin because like it's cool because they are often the picture of like the bad guy type deal. And it's would be kind of fun to play with that trope. And the stuff that they get with them is kind of cool. So yeah, a goblin would be fun.
Cool. The next question is from the Mighty Keith, and he asks, November is shaping up to be a jam-packed month because of all of the delays happening for games. If you only had to pick 2, which one would you get?
So I pulled up I saw this article or saw this question, and I pulled up a website called releases.com, and here's the games that this says is coming out in November 2020. Bakugan, Champions of Vestroy.
Yeah, I don't
care. XIII, so I think that's 13.
13. Okay, that's a remake. I had the original.
Destiny 2, Beyond Light. Sakun of Rice and Ruin, Death Crown, Yakuza
Sakuna? Oh my gosh, stop reading them. You're doing it bad.
Yakuza Like a Dragon,
Yakuza! Your pronunciations are killing me. I'm dying.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Christ Tales, Cyberpunk 2077, Cannibal, Cafe and Enchante.
There's a little over the E.
Ancient Cities and Bubble Bobble for Friends. So,
ooh,
like
that's the one.
There's
Bubble Bobble.
It doesn't seem
I love Bubble Bobble.
So what is Death Crown? Because this looks beautiful.
It does not seem that jam-packed to me. So if I had to pick Cyberpunk and Assassin's Creed of this, so unless there's information,
I think that is what is jam-packed about it, right?
Those
are both large.
Yeah.
And then Destiny got pushed to that time.
Well, okay. Also, Watchdog Legions comes out in October.
Oh,
that's a big
I forgot
one.
about that game.
It's the end of October.
If we're talking about
and
like
Maid of Skur, what is that? That looks neat.
If we're talking about games coming out this holiday, then we'd have a completely different discussion.
When does Squadrons come out?
Okay, let's
It's
assume
October,
that
I
he
think.
meant for it to be a bigger discon and just use November as an example.
Of games
Let's say the last
games that we'd be
quarter.
playing by November, because then I'll go September, October, November. So So let me see. September.
Please don't read through all of them. There's so many.
Yeah, I'm just looking through.
I think the Tony Hawk remake and Star Wars Squadrons are probably my two.
Tony Hawk is exciting.
I'll give you one from each month. Those two, and then maybe Assassin's Creed in November.
See, I don't care about Assassin's Creed.
I Am Dead looked vaguely interesting.
It looks cutesy.
Yeah, that's an Annapurna Productions game. So anything
sign me up.
Yeah, anything they publish, I'm kind of like, okay, you have my attention. Kingdom of Alamar Re-Reckoning, it's like, I hear good things, so maybe. But September's not something that I'm, excited about. Now, October, my birthday month, just saying. Star Wars Squadrons.
Also mine.
Star Wars Squadrons, I am excited for. Beyond that, Dark Pictures Anthology.
Oh, yeah, Dark Pictures.
Yeah, I'm not excited
There's
for
a
it.
game called What Happened. It's a nightmarish first-person exploration of anxiety and depression from the perspective of American high school student Styles. I want that. It's going to be on the PC.
October.
When does Bug Snacks come out?
I don't know.
Okay, Bug Snacks. Because, man, that song slaps.
Dude, have you listened to the full version? It's on Spotify.
Yeah.
The full version is so good. So yeah, Star Wars Squadron and Watch Dogs Legions coming out in October, and those will have. I don't know how much I'm gonna play of Squadrons. We'll see how meaty it is, but Watch Dogs Legion seems like it's got plenty of meat on them bones. As for November, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, maybe. I'm not in a hurry to play that. And that's it. So if you ask me for October, I'd have a tough choice, but that's my picks for the holiday 2020. Everybody make their picks?
Yeah.
I mean,
Good year for games,
Is it?
mm,
Is it, Matt?
I think so. I think it's a
It's a year for games.
unsung year.
I'm excited for this Death Crown game.
quality,
It's
like,
going to be on the
5 years
Switch
from now.
I am.
and all the things.
I feel like next year is going to be a big game year for games because I feel like a lot of things are getting pushed to next year. Like
Right. Fuck you, COVID.
It feels like the world is just in a weird holding pattern.
I can't wait to play Pretty Princess Party.
Well, you have to wait.
It's December 2020.
You know what isn't coming in December 2020?
Paradise Lost.
The housekeeping section of Ready Set Gamecast.
When's that coming?
Right now. Go to
What?
lastgeek.com for links to the podcast on all your favorite podcast services, including iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher, as well as the video version on YouTube. If you like this show, please subscribe, rate, and review it on iTunes and Stitcher. It helps us grow and become more powerful.
Yeah.
You guys jumped the gun on it. I was
I
late.
was ready.
To pee. I have to pee so bad.
Well, whenever you have to go pee, you should tell the person in the potty next to you to listen to Ready Set Gamecast.
It's not a good look. Don't do that, please.
It helps us
No.
get the word out, and
Bryce.
we'll get more listeners.
Bryce, don't do this to me.
What if you were like anytime you were sitting on the toilet, maybe pop open your favorite podcast software and review.
Yeah.
Give
Just
a 5-star
start listening
review.
to it.
Yeah,
They'll be like, "Oh, this is really interesting. What are you listening to?"
just leave.
Let them open the conversation.
Turn the podcast on and just leave it in the toilet. Leave it in the bathroom for the next person to find.
I I'm gonna leave my pee in the bathroom. Oh my god.
Leave it in the bathroom for the next
Yes. It's the perfect way to get the people listening to Ready Set Gamecast. Other Last Geek stuff you should check out. Go to lastgeek.com/store to get awesome merch for this show and other great Last Geek products. Check out the newest episode of Game Make Corp. It's a release of a live show, which was from
I was at
2DCon 2019.
I got to see that in real life.
Did you submit a game idea?
Nope.
Aw.
I got performance anxiety.
Wow. So if you ever wanted to see what it would be like to attend a live Game Make Corp, that's a way to do it. Also, Dungeons and Gamers is a hot new podcast and YouTube series about cool people playing Dungeons and Gamers that are the people that you hear on this podcast.
real play podcast.
Yep. It's part 1 and 2 are out. Darian has listened to them. She hasn't been part of them, so she's going to tell us her hot review of part 1 and 2.
The first one was about the same as any episode 0 of anything ever. And the second one became more interesting.
I believe you.
I have to pee so bad. I'm twitch.tv/dexterity DEXTERIDE. Bye.
Later.
Where can people find you, Matt?
Twitch.tv/DILBERTPICKLED. Wow, I did it. I had to read it.
What's that spell?
Dilbert Pickled.
Okay.
I can't hear you. Dilbert Pickled. Sorry, I thought you were gonna.
What? Why?
We were gonna get like all hype with it.
SpongeBob SquarePants?
Oh no, that's a good point though.
I
have a real gap in my knowledge or in my mind for SpongeBob knowledge. I didn't watch it as a child.
Okay. What did you watch when you were a child?
PBS. The Red Green Show. If there's any Red Green Show fans out there, that is the best.
They did so PBS is supported by viewers like you.
Yeah.
And so during their like viewer-thon deal, they were like, "Hey, donate right now and you will get a little plaque that says you are a part owner of the Red Green Lodge."
Possum Lodge.
And my parents have one and it's like hanging.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Good times.
Oh, man.
Good times. I think
so Red Green and British comedies. That's like
I think Red Green like tours. Like the show's not running anymore, but they like tour. Yep. You can follow me on Twitter at Last Geek. You can follow me at Twitch at Last Geek Plays, where you can watch the show live. You can follow me at Instagram.com/LastGeekPlays. But I'm not gonna go through my stuff. So here is some social media stuff you should be aware of. 1, RS Gamecast is the Twitter account that you need to follow and tweet at to win the game, or just follow so that you can stay up to date. It seems like Darian is being active with that because she's got the cool logins.
Do you think she can still hear us? Because she left with her headphones on.
I'm fairly certain that she is peeing while listening to this podcast right now.
Like you could be.
Like you could. And leave your phone there.
Absolutely could hear you talking the entire time. I've never seen the Red Green Show.
Well, you missed out.
Look it up on YouTube. I think there's full episodes.
God, what was his catchphrase?
Keep your stick on the ice.
No, if they can't find you handsome, at least they
find you handy.
Yeah. God, why is this information I have?
I'm a man, but I can change if I have to, I guess.
Oh, that was so good. I want to make Red Green for gamers.
Okay. Like, I'm totally on board for that. That would be amazing.
Do it.
Okay. So, follow that. Okay. So August 23rd, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, Dungeons and Gamers will be doing a live stream at twitch.tv/LastGeekPlays to raise money for Extra Life, which is a charity that supports Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Specifically, we are supporting a hospital in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where my son has gone through his cancer treatments, and he goes to for checkups and stuff. So supporting this stream, supporting Extra Life directly benefits my son not having cancer. So that would be great if you tuned in and maybe threw a few bucks. And by donating, you will be able to receive rewards that affect the game, like being able to give our characters advantage or inspiration, or even higher tiers where you can create a NPC and you can put yourself in the podcast. Maybe we will fight you, or maybe you will fight with us. All sorts of cool stuff. You can say if they're your friend, an enemy, whatever. It can be a great time. So you should definitely tune into that. August 23rd, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Put it on your calendar. And for updates on the podcast and the stuff, so you remember, you should follow Dungeons Gamers on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm gonna need the login for that one too.
Just say it right now.
I'm just kidding.
And so Darian's character isn't in the part 1 through 3 of Dungeons and Gamers on YouTube, but she will be debuting on the live stream. So if you want to see what kind of character she's playing, you should watch that.
I sure do. I'll be there to watch.
Matt will also be playing his character. That's, I think, all the stuff I have for you. Don't forget to play The Suicide of Rachel Foster, and we will see you again in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.